Today on ESPN, we'll take a look at some great action from the Global Wrestling Federation. Hello, everyone. I'm Craig Johnson, and on today's program, we will see Stephen Dane against the madman from Pakistan, Mukkan Singh. Skip Young goes against Sweet Stan Lane, of course. In Sweet Stan's corner, the Louisville Slugger, the irrepressible Jim Cornette. Chico Torres has to face bad news. I don't envy Chico Torres in this event. We will see Jeff Gaylord against Action Jackson. We'll take a look back at the tag team tournament, a fantastic tournament that took place on Supercard earlier in the summer. We're going to go back and relive some of the highlights. And then we'll see the Patriot against the Cuban Assassin. All that today on ESPN. Stay tuned. The action begins next. Might be Norman.
Oh, hold on. Mind that you're insinuating this man has a mind. Is that a teddy bear or is that some kind of sacrificial toy?
I don't know. We're about to find out as the man from Karachi, Pakistan, 6'3", 390 pounds, enters the ring. Asking the cameraman to get real close.
No, boy.
That's what I think of your garbage. That's what I think of your garbage teddy bears.
Thank you.
That's a little harsh. His actions, speaking of his actions, going right to work on Stephen Dane. Mukkan Singh from Karachi, Pakistan, in his native garb of all red, trying to get the best of Stephen Dane as we open up action this time on Major League Wrestling.
Karachi, Pakistan is a hefty little flight over to the Asian continent, and Mukkan Singh doesn't look like he's having any jet lag in there against Stephen Dane. Dane, a big fella, well put together, but Mukkan Singh's just mass and density really waylaying on Dane.
The clothesline by Singh sends Stephen Dane, who is at a immense weight disadvantage, 390 to 225 pounds. Dane may have some quickness, but Singh can punish you to where that quickness goes out the window. Going out of the ring is Stephen Dane.
Almost out the window, though. And right into the steps to the ring. And Dane better watch out because Singh, when he gets that advantage, Craig, oh, no, look at this. Oh,
right into the steel post.
When Singh gets that advantage, as I was going to say before he so rudely interrupted me, he stays on the man, and this is a perfect example of how to stay on him. Oh, boy.
Definitely not a stairway to heaven there for Stephen Dane.
Not at all.
390 pounds, the purveyor of the Karachi Crunch, steps back into the ring here at the Global Dome while Dane somehow makes his way back.
Now look at Stephen Dane. You can see the man spends a lot of time in the gym. He's well-built. He's an athlete. But he is just having a hard time even getting back into the ring after the abuse he's taken at the hands of Mukkan Singh. There's a few words of wisdom from the big man from Karachi, Pakistan.
Wisdom?
Whatever.
Dane with a right. Has a little effect, of course, hitting the jaw there of Mukkan Singh. That stopped it. Singh with a forearm to the back of Stephen Dane. Sends him into the ropes. Big elbow.
And that's like running into a brick wall there when you're someone at such a weight disadvantage to Mukkan Singh, even though Steve Dane is a big guy. It's just like running into a solid brick wall when you hit Mukkan Singh, and you saw Stephen Dane went straight down to the mat.
Mukkan Singh, a man with a big mouth. We will hear from a man with possibly an even bigger mouth, Jim Cornette, coming up after the break. Singh brings Dane down. Count of one, count of two. But Stephen Dane powers out.
We've got to give Dane credit there as he just pushed the big man up. I thought for sure Dane was down for the 3 count.
Using the top rope to his advantage is Mukkan Singh pulling him back. And you got to give Dane some credit. He keeps on getting up, kind of like the Energizer Buddy. Just when you think you've gotten rid of him, he's coming back. Oh, no. Here goes Singh up and out of the way is Dane. Fine move. Dane with one to the very large midsection now gets him and goes after the beard.
Oh, that hurts.
Stephen Dane has Singh tied up in the ropes.
The crowd really getting behind Stephen Dane now as Makram Singh tied up and Dane moving in. This might be his last opportunity to mount an offensive here against the big man from Pakistan.
James Beard trying to loosen Singh from the ropes. Finally gets him out. That may be bad news for Dane, as you can see right there. Right through the ropes. Singh being warned by James Beard. Shoulder, sunset flip. Somehow I don't think this is going to work too much. Wait, out. He held onto the rope. He had him down, held onto the rope. I guess he thought Dane was getting a little bit too feisty. When we return, Joe Pedicino with Jim Cornette and Stan Lane on Major League Wrestling.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Let's see. A mountain man must be fearless, sure-footed, willing to answer the call of the wild. But most of all, a mountain man should be thirsty for a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and see if you have what it takes to be a real mountain man.
Today, in Mr. Kritzky's neighborhood, you'll meet Mr. Rat. Discover modern dance.
James Brown, move over.
Drop in on some friends and learn all about nicknames.
Well, how come they call you Milkman?
Because I killed the milkman.
Joe Pesci. The Super, rated R. Starts Friday, October 4th at theaters everywhere.
I am standing here with Jim Cornette and the gangster of love, Stan Lane. And, Jim, all I have heard all week long is how you've got a new partner for Stan Lane. You formed a new team.
No. As usual, you're mistaken. You're behind. I haven't formed anything. We went to the Global Wrestling Federation. We said, Sweet Stan Lane is the greatest tag team wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. He wanted to enter the tournament by himself. He wanted to win a tag team title by himself. But the GWF, the competition committee, they wouldn't let him. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what, anybody you got, any wrestler under contract that doesn't have a partner that wants to be a world tag team champion, then, brother, just bring him on, because this man can win a title with anybody. Well, and right here's the proof of the pudding. Steve Cox, come on in here.
Steve Cox, man, good to see you. It's been a...
Don't socialize. Let me tell you something. You didn't have a partner. You want a shot at the title. You just keep your eyes open, listen, and learn from the master.
Whoa. I'm going to stop you right here. I already know how you feel about Stan teaming up with me. But I'm putting you both on notice. You don't worry about what I'm going to do, because I'm going to be watching what you're going to do. You take care of your end of the business, I'll take care of my end of the business, and we'll just get through this, because this is my shot, people. I wanted that shot at the championship belt. I'll do it myself. I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. We're together. Let's make the best of it and go for the gold.
Let me tell you something, young man. You just follow the leader, and I'll make you a star.
Let's get out of here. Stand up and pay your respect to the gangster of love, the sexiest man in professional wrestling. Here he is, Sweet Stan Lane.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. But first, the 7 times manager of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, the Louisville Slugger, Mr. Jim Cornette.
Well, now that we've had all the ring announcers known to the Global Wrestling Federation,
I think it's about time for a commercial break. And after all the ring announcers, we don't have time for the match.
Skip Young, the opponent for Sweet Stan Lane. Of course, you can never forget the man on the outside, Jim Cornette.
An untapped resource of Jim Cornette for Sweet Stan. I tell you what, listen to Stan Lane as I'm listening to a morning drive radio show. Got a pretty good voice.
Lust in your eyes.
Oh, my. Well, Skip Young is not impressed. for action yet. Skip Young has to wait for the, I guess, traditional high 10 with a tennis racket.
Absolutely.
To be finished by Stan Lane and Jim Cornette.
Well, far be it for us or Skip Young to fool around with a tradition like that.
Cornette was playing tennis at the hotel tennis courts this week. He still had the racket cover on. I don't understand him sometimes.
Oh.
Stan Lane to face off against Skip Young. Young is quite fast. Lane likes to use savate kicks. Couldn't quite get out of the way there. Oh, claiming a pull of the hair. I don't think so.
Stan Lane has had a lot of success. There's a good look at Skip Young, really giving the referee an earful. There's Stan Lane. He has had a lot of success in tag team wrestling. With the Fabulous Ones, the Midnight Express. Now he's in there as a single. You gotta wonder, with Jim Cornette in there, how long it'll be before they find a partner and go after a tag team championship here in the GWF.
As a matter of fact, we'll be recapping the first week of the GWF Tag Team Tournament coming up a little later in today's Major League Wrestling. To the ropes goes Skip Young, comes off with a shoulder block. Steps over. The arm drag was there, and apparently Stan Lane keeping control. Brings him over once again and goes to work on the arm. Putting the knee into the bicep.
There's a look at the Louisville Slugger, the mouth that roared Jim Cornette. You can't argue with success, but in his case, we'll make an exception. He's been 7 times Manager of the Year. He's won the United States Tag Team Championship and just a laundry list of titles. But I don't know that once that they won a Tag Team Championship, they being any team he managed, without some sort of outside interference.
The views of Jim Cornette do not necessarily reflect those of the Global Wrestling Federation or Major League Wrestling.
Or Jim Cornette, probably.
That's true. Leapfrog 2 times. Hip toss. Stan Lane wants a TO. And Cornette's just the coach to get it for him. Consultation courtesy of Mr. Lane. Oh, now, first it was the hair, now it's the tights. The gangster of love having his problems. Page
by page down the GWF rulebook, Craig. Stan Lane is claiming everything under the sun. I think next it'll be a closed fist, maybe a foreign object.
Obviously, Jim Cornette has the pocket version. In the breast pocket of his Masters jacket. He claimed he won that at the Masters. I don't think so.
Yeah, right. I didn't know they had a Masters in Tiddlywinks.
The headlock by Skip Young. Whoops. That's how you do.
Oh!
The double drop kick there.
Wow. Skip Young. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, watch out.
Skip Young nearly took Stan Lane's head off with that standing drop kick. And Lane just doesn't know where he is or who he's talking to. Almost hauled off and knocked Cornette.
And you remember back in the television tournament, these 2 gentlemen had their differences. You suppose there's lingering after effects there?
There's got to be, Craig. There's got to be. Jim Cornette has no friends. He only has people that he uses to make money, and Stan Lane is his current money man.
I understand Bonnie Blackstone is in the stands with a comment. Bonnie?
All right, we're here in the stands, and I'm with Mike. Go ahead and tell me what you think about Jim Cornette.
I don't think they'll allow him to bring that tennis racket to the ring. He's going to hurt somebody.
Tell me about it. All right, Craig, back to you.
Thank you, Bonnie. As Lane dispatches, watch out for the Louisville Slugger. Oh!
That's the wrong end of the racket.
He never learned that. Skip Young, the victim of the rawhide racket grip of Jim Cornette.
Skip Young taking a well-deserved breather here at the Global Dome as Cornette interfered already. Kind of hoping he'd go at least 5 or 10 minutes before he did, but no such luck.
Double chop by Lane. Into the corner. Lane follows him in, and oh, Nobody home there. Young out of the way, goes for the double axe handle, but Young meets him with one to the body, one to the forehead, and the headbutt.
Oh, boy. You could hear the echo all the way up there when that headbutt made contact.
Boom again, courtesy of Skip Young. Into the ropes, right to the midsection. If Lane hasn't eaten dinner, he may be feeling pain down there. The body slam, Young to go up to the top. Skip Young.
This could be the end here, Craig.
Oh! The overhead smash by Cornette. I believe that's match point. Stan Lane with a victory with the assist to Jim Cornette. And when we come back, no, it's not the newsroom. It's just plain bad news. When this man delivers, it's nothing but bad news.
Absolutely. Bad news is making its way into the Global Wrestling Federation and not wasting any time.
Home delivery on Chico Torres. The headbutt from Bad News 6 to 275 out of Harlem. Taking advantage right away of the no disqualification for the over-the-top rope rule. Going right to work on Chico Torres.
And the thing about Bad News, Craig, is that he is an accomplished amateur athlete. The man is an Olympian. He was in the 1976 Olympics in judo. And here he is, just a brawler. He could get in there and put on a beautiful judo exhibition, but no. We're going to see a lot of these kind of moves right here.
Bad News drapes him over the top and brings him down. Bad News, 5 times the North American champion, the Canadian version of that belt. Not to be confused with the North American title of the Global Wrestling Federation, which has a long history. We'll be telling you more about that in the upcoming weeks.
Absolutely, but not to belittle the Calgary version of the North American Championship either, Craig. That's a tough place to wrestle. Some really good competition in Calgary. And Bad News Brown competed against the likes of Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, Beef Wellington in Calgary, and
the British Bulldogs both from up there,
the British Bulldogs. When you win the North American Championship in Calgary, you've accomplished something, and he did it 5 times.
Well, Chico Torres from south of the border got out of the way there. Hits Bad News with a drop kick, but it seems to have no effect. Look at the way he just swats the drop kick away. Bad News, who has feuded with men like Leroy Brown, Jake the Snake Roberts, Macho Man Randy Savage, now coming to take care of business in the Global Wrestling Federation.
Bad News from the streets of Harlem, and you got to wonder if that judo background, it wasn't just built out of necessity. Growing up on those tough streets of New York City, you need something, and I think Bad News Brown just said, well, I'll take judo, and that way nobody will mess with me, and I bet nobody did.
Not a judo move there as he chokes Chico Torres. 5 times the AAU heavyweight judo champion. The chop right to the throat with the tips of the fingers there. You have to wonder what the use of the glove might be. Leg drop right across the throat. Bad News wants Rick Manning to count and says, no.
Well, old habits die hard as Bad News Brown not satisfied there. Bad News Brown also a former Southern heavyweight champion, defeating Lex Luger in Florida about 1986, I think that was. So he has defeated great competition, and it's great to have him here in the Global Wrestling Federation, although I don't think Chico Torres is all that hyped up about having him here.
Torres reverses, but Bad News gets the foot up, meeting Chico Torres. Picks Torres up and sends him down. Just like delivering a paper, putting it right on the porch. Bad News up, Ghetto Blaster. Oh, That's what he calls it. That's a count of 3 by Rick Manning. The news has been delivered.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Bad News Brown.
Well, wrestling fans, Mike Davis has been a major name in professional wrestling around the south of the United States for several years now. He has been part of many popular and very successful tag teams, including the RPMs. But now he has been joined by his brother Tom, and they are known as the Dirty Davis Brothers. And after seeing them in action, I know why.
You know something, Pedicino? People have looked at me all my career and said, you're dastardly, you're stinking, and you're dirty. Look what I bring to you. Something that's more dastardly, more dirty, and stinks probably more than anybody can.
I'll vouch for that.
This is my little brother.
Yeah.
And what you're looking at is Dirt Incorporated, people. We don't care.
Dirty.
We'd sacrifice our own mom and dad to win a match. And we've done it time and time again.
Dirty right. Davis and Dirty.
All right, they're in the tag team tournament. They're the Dirty Davis Brothers.
Action Jackson out of Texarkana, Arkansas, going in to face the Missouri Tiger, Jeff Gaylord. Gaylord's resume, quite impressive.
Absolutely. Former Missouri Tiger, University of Missouri football team, All-American his senior year, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 8. Still holds the Missouri record for sacks for lost yardage as a senior. There's a good display of sportsmanship from two sportsmen.
I don't know if he won the sportsmanship award, but apparently showing it there as Action Jackson. Not a guy you'd really expect to put out the hand of friendship, but he did. There's the tie-up. And between the tassels of Gaylord and the ponytails of Jackson, a lot of things flying in that ring.
Absolutely. With Jackson's outfit, he could step right into Wet and Wild with no problem.
I don't think he's been surfing, however.
I don't know. Not a lot of surfing in Texarkana. Clean break, guys.
Collar and elbow tie-up takes both men back into the corner. Jackson back there, a little bit of a shove. Senior referee Sean O'Brien warning Jackson, please, the clean break, if you would. These two very large men lock up in the slam by Action Jackson. Well executed there as the back of Gaylord maybe smartened a little bit.
Jackson, a very successful tour of Puerto Rico, a couple of months ago, a few weeks ago. So he's going to have some interesting moves in there maybe we haven't seen before.
And you notice there, Gaylord trying to kick his way out of that slam, unable to escape it as he goes down to the slam of Action Jackson. Gaylord trying to get the fans into it here at the Global Dome. Jackson trying to pick it up, and the big man rolls him up into a small package. Count of one by Sean O'Brien as Jackson surprised there.
Take a look at the chest and the triceps on Jeff Gaylord. Those are the two areas that develop with a lot of bench pressing, and Jeff Gaylord up around the 480 mark as a maximum weight in bench press.
And he did that in high school. 525 pounds, the bench press at the University of Missouri. Still a Big 8 record, showing his strength against Action Jackson. They tie up once again. Jackson gets the upper hand with a side headlock. Gaylord sends him into the ropes. Shoulder block by Jackson. Now, when you go against a guy who's a defensive football player, you're not supposed to be able to knock him over that easy. I don't know if Jackson played offensively, but right now he's being very offensive to the fans and to Jeff Gaylord.
Absolutely. That sportsmanship went right out the window on the part of Action Jackson.
The Missouri Tiger block right there into the midsection now follows it up with a couple of fists. Gaylord clothesline sends Jackson down to the canvas. Picking him up, sending him down. Gaylord hooks the leg, count of one, count of two by Sean O'Brien. Jackson escapes, and then a rapid punch dazes Gaylord a little bit. Elbow to the top of the head.
Give Gaylord credit. That kind of punch would level me. I know that. Gaylord's still in there taking it.
Gaylord saying, no way you're going to send me into this turnbuckle. Here, have a look yourself. Two-time. Jeff Gaylord out of Kansas City, Missouri, picks the man from Texarkana up, gives him a knee, puts him in the grapevine on the leg, and can't quite get him, and Jackson comes up. Oh, what an uppercut.
Reminiscent of Dory Funk Jr. from way down south, came all the way up into the face of Jeff Gaylord, and now the Missouri Tiger stunned.
Going to work on the neck muscles. And Jeff Gaylord is Action Jackson. Jackson, an intense look on the face.
Well, he's using all the classic wrestling maneuvers here, Craig. The Dory Funk Jr. uppercut. Little Dick the Bruiser neck twist there.
Gaylord with a clothesline, bringing him down. Count of one is all he gets. Jackson escapes again and answers with a right hand. Reminiscent of just about any boxer you'd want to think about. Snapmare.
Nobody can take credit for the old right hand, not except for the big guy upstairs.
Jackson.
I'm not talking about Max Andrews, by the way.
Thank you for clarifying that. Kick to the midsection, followed up by a right. Gaylord comes back with two, three rights, but Jackson with one out of right field. These two men just going at each other, and Jackson shows down referee Sean O'Brien. That will cause a disqualification, but now he's got to try to get these two men separated.
And Sean's not a big fella. These two behemoths in there. Okay.
Let's go down for the official word.
Gentlemen, your winner of the match, Jeff Taylor.
Back with a recap of the tag team tournament when we return. There's a belly-to-belly suplex, which shows that this man is indeed versed in the wrestling arts as well as the submission arts. Firecat goes up and over, and the cat maybe using some of his 9 lives here, but comes back with a boot. Snap suplex by the Firecat. Goes to the rope, and Davis hits him with a boot from behind into the small of the back.
Keep your foot out of the
I
match.
should correct myself. Mike Davis. Two Davis.
That's right.
Davises?
That's close enough. I don't think you can conjugate Davis. Either one of them.
Conjugate that into a count of 2 by Tom Davis. Tags into Brother Mike.
How about it? 1, 2, down. 2, outside.
Mike Davis trying the atomic drop, but the Firecat rolls him over. May have him locked up, but Tom Davis comes in for the save.
Always has his head in the ring, does the Firecat. Knew right where he was in there, knew right where Mike Davis was, rolled him in for the pin, would have had it not for the interference of Tom Davis.
Davis now going to work on the Firecat, picks him up, sends him down. Thinks he has the Firecat worn down enough for a possible pin, but as you can see there, only a count of 1. Flying elbow when it looked like the cat was about to get set up for a backdrop.
Davis was not expecting that. Firecat out of left field, that last piece of energy he had. Lord, Tom Davis.
Tag into Mike Davis. The Firecat tags into El Gran Coloso, who is cleaning up house.
Coloso doing it in there against both Davis brothers now. Coloso, and now Firecat comes out against Mike Davis. It's just going all over the place, and Firecat goes out.
Meanwhile, Coloso, clothesline sends him down. Mike Davis goes out. Tom Davis rolls him up, gets the pin.
Wrestling fans, here I am with one of the top international stars in the world of professional wrestling. He is Bad News Brown.
Don't worry about what my name is. My name is Bad News. But let's get one thing straight, you beer belly sharecroppers. There's a vicious rumor going around that I was dead, that I was in jail, that I was run over by a garbage truck. But let me tell you, beer belly sharecroppers, one thing. I was on an international tour. That's right, I was all over the world. I was in Japan, I was destroying people. I went to China, I was destroying people. I went to Russia, and now here I am in the GWF. And let me tell you one thing. I guarantee you one thing, I'm here, but there's no strutting peacocks here. There are no limp wrist sissies here. This is what you call real organization, and I'm here to teach these young boys one thing, what pain is about, what defeat is about, and what downright torture is about. Because when I get into the ring, I bring the streets of Harlem with me, and there's only one thing that I know. I hurt anybody, I take no prisoners, and I have no mercy on no spineless cockroaches.
Cuba is #1. Viva la Havana, Cuba. I'll finish with you.
Oh, please.
Not the right thing to say. The man of the Stars and Stripes back jumping him there.
A Cuban assassin having a few very anti-American words and a few very anti-American punches for the Patriots. And the crowd didn't take long to start the USA chant supporting the Global Wrestling Federation television champion, the Patriot.
The Patriot with a leapfrog nails him with a drop kick. One more time. The Cuban assassin goes down. Now going down to the clothesline. The Patriot not taken too kindly to the words of the Cuban assassin. There he is in his glorious red, white, and blue.
And the Cuban assassin, what goes through somebody's mind to make you think that's the smart thing to do? So, badmouth the man, his country, what he stands for, and that's just not very smart. And I think the Cuban assassin is going to regret those words before this match is over.
I don't know anything about the education system in Cuba. Obviously lacking when somebody tries to put down the red, white, and blue. Even if that may be the way he really feels, it's just not smart to fool with a man of the Global Wrestling Federation television champion, the Patriot.
What a great champion he's been, Craig, a fighting champion, defending against all comers.
Of course, back during the television championship tournament, beating Nature Boy Buddy Landell to win the championship after going through 5 matches to do so.
What
Shoulder
a tournament for the television championship. What a performance by the Patriot. And there's not a good performance right there, taking a big knee from the assassin.
The Cuban assassin with a chop using the left hand. The assassin from the capital of Cuba, Havana, which is where the Pan American Games will be held this year. Obviously, the Cuban assassin not going to be competing.
I think he's working the concession stand.
The assassin rolled over by the Patriot. Count of 1, count of 2 by Rick Manning. And the assassin comes back with a chop. Guerrilla tactics, the specialty of the Cuban assassin.
Cuban assassin, no Johnny-come-lately. Cuban assassin, once part of the Cuban connection in the Florida area with Ricky Santana not too many years ago. Cuban assassin has also had a very successful run in the NWA and WCW as well as Portland. So he's been around the horn a couple of times, and he knows his way around the wrestling ring.
One thing I have to say in defense of Ricky Santana is the Patriot coming back. Santana saw the ways of America being a nice place to be.
Absolutely.
And trying to show the way to the Cuban assassin is the Patriot. The Patriot delivers the clothesline, sends him into the ropes one more time, comes off with the elbow. Patriot grapevines the leg, but only a count of 2 as the Assassin got a big fella in there. The Assassin may have the Patriot where he wants him. Has him up for the pile driver, going to bring him down right on top of the Star-Spangled Mask.
Red, white, and blue or not, that hurts. Pile driver jams those vertebrae in the neck.
Almost a count of 3 there. As the global television champion almost taken down for the count. The Assassin misses with a clothesline. Coming back. Low trajectory missile. Count of 1, count of 2. That's 3. The red, white, and blue comes through.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the special challenge match, the Patriot!
Jacko Victory and Rip Morgan, the royal family from the Queen's Court, going against Terry Garvin and Jeff Gaylord. Tag team action here on Legends of Professional Wrestling. Craig Johnson ringside at the Global Dome. Some interesting background on the royal family. Rip Morgan kicked off many rugby teams in New Zealand until they realized he was tough enough to play for the team known as the All Blacks, the national rugby team of New Zealand. I forgot about the pre-match ritual. The Royal Family, a team that captured pretty much all the tag team titles down in New Zealand. Facing the group from the USA, and even more popular, the fact that Terry Garvin and Jeff Gaylord, fan favorites here at the Global Dome. Rip Morgan to face off against Terry Garvin to get things underway. Morgan tried to get the headlock, and luckily for Garvin, he ducked out of the way. Rip Morgan, who went into the bush country of New Zealand for 2 years to get ready to enter the sport of professional wrestling, may have had a little bit more luck chasing down animals than he's had in chasing down Terry Garvin, but the big man now setting in the forearms. The southpaw from the land down under. Morgan sends Garvin into the corner, but Garvin gets the thrust kick. Garvin with the drop kick. Off the rope, sends Morgan scurrying, but didn't take the big man off his feet. Rake of the eyes by Rip Morgan. Double axe handle. Morgan comes down with a right boot, sending Garvin outside the ring. Watch out for victory. Jacko Victory adds a boot as Garvin will try to make his way back into the ring. Terry Garvin out of Louisville, Kentucky. Facing a size disadvantage here. Gets the tag to Jeff Gaylord. Don't look now, Rip. There's a Missouri Tiger, and he's ready to pounce right about now. Gaylord sends Morgan in the corner. Down, set, hike. But Gaylord never ran into a line like that. Here comes Jacko Victory. Clothesline. An awesome clothesline from the American expatriate. We'll get into that as we go on in the match. Now trying to take the best of the 1981 All-American out of the University of Missouri. Jacko Victory quoted in a recent Match Day magazine as saying that he found American tag team partners unreliable. Likes the New Zealand work habit and has teamed up with Rip Morgan for a powerful tag team. But speaking of power, the power of Jeff Gaylord. Man who holds the Big 8 bench press record, never had to deal with somebody pulling his hair while lifting the weights. And that's where Jacko Victory gets the advantage. Victory calling for assistance, the sole of the boot of Rip Morgan. There's the tag. Victory keeping Gaylord in the middle of the ring. Here comes Morgan to add some more punishment. Morgan now going to work on the left arm and now just punishing. Gaylord sends Morgan back into the corner with a series of shots. And now, Garvin trying to fight, but the fight is taken out of him. Misses with a clothesline. Oh! Over the top and out. The top rope, not a disqualification rule in the Global Wrestling Federation. Victory sends Garvin down. They said they want to rule the tag team scene in the GWF. Right now, they just look like they want to take their opponents. Oh, my. Took them up. Down for 1, 2. That should do it. But Gaylord comes in to break the count. Now double teaming by the Royal family. No, it's just an illegal tag, if you will, as Jacko Victory back in. Victory bringing Garvin over the top rope. And now Morgan with a big leg, punishing Garvin. Fans at ringside at the Global Dome getting very upset at the tactics of the gentleman from Queens Court. What a devastating clothesline by Jacko Victory. That should do it. 1, 2. Gaylord in once again. I think Gaylord's upset at the fact that these two men are just punishing Terry Garvin. Double chop into the throat by Rip Morgan. James Beard has been busy trying to keep order, but it's very tough. With 2 minutes devious, it's down over the top rope. Goes Terry Garvin, courtesy of Rip Morgan. Morgan lays the left into Jeff Gaylord. Gaylord comes in. Double team over the top rope again. And down hard to the floor. Obviously doing their homework are the Royal family, as they know that throwing an opponent over the top rope is not grounds for a disqualification. In this case, it's just grounds for punishment. The Wild Men from New Zealand. Garvin with a shoulder block. Gets the sunset flip. Garvin tries to make his way over. Morgan off. As Garvin tried to power his way up, Morgan set him down. Victory with a handful of hair. That's uncalled for. Gaylord comes in. He has seen about enough. The Royal family could pin Garvin, it seems, at any time. Picks him up. Morgan brings him down. Rip Morgan trying to pick up the fallen Terry Garvin. Now apply the New Zealand bear hug. The back has been punished enough by 2 trips over the top rope. The fans would love to see Garvin get the tag to Gaylord. Garvin goes to work on the ears twice. Somehow breaks the hold, but the tag comes in, and Garvin meets up with Jack Victory in the toughest kind of way. The team from New England punishing Terry Garvin. Garvin needs a tag desperately. Snapmare. Victory picks him up by the head and throws him over the top rope. Now Morgan, down in front of our broadcast position, picks him up and the lower back into the metal pole. Morgan and Victory. Watch out for Morgan outside the ring. Puts them back in for more punishment. Snapmare again. The Royal Family. Maybe he's ready to pin the man now. He gets him with a chop. 1. But once again, Gaylord breaks the count. It's all Jeff Gaylord can do, but to control himself. Punishment once again. Garvin doing his best to get out. Chops to the side. And now, they may be going for the Royal Crush, but Gaylord comes in. He's seen enough. Gaylord comes in, trying to take care of both men. Gets Morgan out of the ring. Going to work on Victory, but watch out for Morgan outside of the ring. Morgan has a chair approaching Jeff Gaylord, but Garvin intercepts and sends Morgan into the post. Garvin comes in with a chair. Morgan grabbed the chair, but we'll have to get the official decision on this. Oh, no. For some reason, I don't think this bothers the Royal Family. They just want to punish their opponents. They don't really care about the win. We'll be back to wrap it up. Well, I obviously have the unenviable task of all four members of the cartel surrounding me. Second round action for both teams of the cartel coming up.
Jack, you know what, Cactus? It's amazing. Out here with you. You know something? The cartel's getting bigger and better. Look at Scotty here. Look at Ripper. Look at Cactus. And, of course, the greatest super heavyweight in the world, Mucka Singh. I'll tell you what, this team is just getting so amazing. It's getting like the boss just decided to pull the 4 greatest athletes and wrestlers out of the air and put them right here at one time. Like you're amazed, aren't you? Magic. As dumb as you are, you're amazed, aren't you?
Wait a minute. I know him. That's Jim Cornette on growth hormone.
No, that's a kid off the old My Three Sons show.
Oh, Ernie Douglas.
Yeah.
That's Ernie Douglas.
Yeah.
I knew something happened. I thought he was Eddie Munster from the...
You know what? You're doing a real good job standing out here. Ripper, get rid of this bum.